Sorry about that, everybody. We had a power outage, so let's continue from where we left off. I had to go through the entire chapter all over again just to get here. So don't worry, frets. We are already here, so let's get started. You sure know a lot about this, Yamazaki-san.
Not really. It happens in this town, so it's in the news. You'd remember it if you didn't want to.
I see. I thought it was happening in the neighboring town, but I guess it moved down here. Well, anyway, what's happened? Even though we're going to streets at night with a killer walking around, that's why I've been I might be reading the line wrong. Well, anyway, what's happening? Even though I wouldn't be going on in the streets at night with a killer walking around, that's why I've been waking up at 7 lately. Wait, what? That's it? Having a good reason doesn't make a good story. Where's the fun in that? I sit down dealing with Arihiko. Man, you're cold. When did you collapse from anemia already in this morning? I'm alright. Thanks for asking. If I was anemic 24 hours a day, I ought to be dead by now. Yeah, you're right. If you say you're okay, then I guess you're okay. The bell rings while we're talking. Hey, class is about to begin. Hurry up and get back to your seat. Yeah, alright. Oh, by the way, we'll have lunch today in the cafeteria instead of the roof. I've invited a special guest, so look forward to it. With a scheming laugh, Arihiko returns to his seat. See you later, Tohno-kun. Yeah. Sorry for keeping you, Yamazaki-san. Oh, sorry. Her light footsteps tap across the floor as she returns to her desk. But it's still a mystery why she joined our conversation. She's just her classmate. Or maybe is she? Dun dun dun. It's lunchtime. Now then, where should I go eat lunch? Well, we did say we're going to meet up with her, so let's see. Well, we want to think about seeing Ciel, so maybe go eat in the cafeteria? Oh, thank you. Oh, you're awesome. The cafeteria is packed as usual. Sorry, my mom gave me some flan. A long line of people waiting for their orders has developed. Casting a glance at the students holding their meal tickets, I sit down at Arihiko's table. So, Arihiko, who's the special guest? That's odd. We arranged to meet here in the cafeteria. Hold on, I'll go check things out. Arihiko runs off, leaving his curry udon. Huh? Chikara udon is my choice. I hope he returns before the noodles go stale. It's no good. Looks like Senpai went somewhere. Your guess is a Senpai? Yeah, she's a really cool girl. I've been hitting on her for the last few days, and I finally got her to agree to eat lunch together. Apparently, she's someone who wants to thank today, so she's running around school looking for whoever it is. It seems like she's a busy person. Yeah, she's the kind of one who those penny racers. With a look of regret, Akihiko splits his chopsticks. Well, I guess it can't be helped. Anyhow, ikitakimasu. Yes, ikitakimasu. We begin to slurp our udon. Just what the heck are penny racers anyway? So what's the real reason? Huh? What do you mean? The reason you were really early this morning. You aren't the sort of person who comes to school early just because he gets up early, kun. I questioned Akihiko as I sit next to him, eating my Chikahara udon. Akihiko gives an uncommitted response as he slurps away at his soup. Are you going back to your real house today, Tohno? Yeah, I am. Wait, have I told you about that already? Nah, I just heard it from the teacher. Akihiko continues to wolf down his curry udon without glancing in my direction. I thought maybe Tohno would get really depressed, so I decided to check it out. I see. And your verdict? Pretty disappointing. It wasn't worth getting up early for. You really have too much time on your hands, Akihiko, I concluded as I bite into the one rice cakes in my Chikahara udon. That's the kind of person Akihiko is. Today is the day I return to the house of my real family, returning from the home of the adopted family who raised me. Akihiko must have heard about it somewhere and came to my school early just because he was worried about me. Oh, what a good friend. Akihiko, I think your appearance does you Akihiko, I think your appearance does you a disservice. You're really sentimental underneath. It was anyway. If it was I can't read. If it's always me, Melcolony Tohno, telling me that, then I really am the real thing. Akihiko slurps noisily at his noodles. So, man, what's really going on? What do you mean? You've been living in the Arma since primary school, right? It's been 8 years already. Your dad has basically disinherited you. Why is he suddenly calling you back now? He didn't disinherit me. He just kicked me out of the house somehow. Tohno-kun, if I ever was with a family that kicked their kid out of their house somehow, that's not a tragedy, it's a comedy. But it's so boring. It's not even funny. Akihiko spreads his arms and shrugs. Refusing to be serious ever is one of Akihiko's easy to understand traits. Yeah, I guess you're right. If you get kicked out of the house, laughing is all you really can do. And then he said some cliche line like that, never step foot in this house again, or something, right? That's what people would call disinheritance. Come to think of it, I never really heard why you were disinherited. Who knows? That's something I like to know too. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to. And grabbing his bowl with both hands, Akihiko drains what's left of his hot curry soup. Lunchtime is short. Following Akihiko, I decided to quickly finish my Chikahara udon. The last class of the day ends. I don't feel like going to the mansion right away, so I just blankly stare out the window overlooking the school grounds. The classroom is dyed orange by the sunset. It's like a red watercolor paint, and it hurts my eyes. I don't like red. It feels like it soaks deep into the back of my eyes, and I wanted to throw up. But it's a pretty color, but I can understand why. It seems I'm weak against things that resemble blood. No, I should say I'm weak against blood itself. 8 years ago, I had a near-death experience. It was an accident where I was injured in the chest and I teetered between life and death for days. I should have died instantly, but miraculously, I survived. Maybe it's because of the great medical treatment. However, the injuries were so severe that I don't even remember the accident. 8 years ago, when I was a child, I felt a thud pass right through the middle of my chest. Then I passed out. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. All I can remember afterwards was the pain and the cold. I don't remember much of the accident, but even today, the scar on my chest remains. I guess numerous fragments of glass pierced my chest, leaving burn-like scars there and in my back. Actually, I was quite surprised at being saved. Ever since then, I freaking collapsed from anemia-like dizziness and caused a lot of trouble for others. Maybe that's why my old man believed I was unfit to be the heir of the Tohno household and entrusted me to our relatives. The wound on my chest, huh? The huge scar in the middle of my chest, hidden from view by my uniform. Now I think about it, after the accident when I started to see those lines, I'm able to forget them thanks to these glasses that Sensei gave me. But I think I would have completely gone mad if I never met her. Keiko-san, the person who had been my mother up until now, said I left the Tohno household wasn't normal. No problem. I'm not a normal person myself. I adjusted my crooked glasses. I picked up my bag. I can't stay in the classroom forever. Maybe let's go for a little longer. Maybe we can see Ciel. As soon as I step into the hallway, I run into a familiar face. Huh? What's up, senpai? Do you have business here in the second-year classroom? Yay, Ciel! I like her. Yes, business with a second-year student to be precise. Ciel senpai approaches me with a smile.
Listen, I have some nice snacks here, but no one to talk to. It would be a waste to eat them all by myself, so I came to catch an idle-looking person to talk to.
Huh? Someone to talk to? But there's no one left in the classroom. It is the same with all the other classes too. You usually don't come into the second year classrooms anyway, do you? You're on the lower floor, right? And as if she wanted someone to talk to, aren't there plenty of third year classmates she could talk to? She really didn't need to come all the way up here. Shouldn't you think about asking your third year classmates? Conversations would probably be better.
Yes, but today I want to talk to younger guys. Please don't ask for a reason. It's just on a whim.
Well, I won't ask. I probably wouldn't be able to understand even if she told me. Senpai's smile disappears as she stares into my face.
Are you free right now, Tohno-kun?
Well, if having nothing to do means I'm free, then I'm definitely free. Senpai grabs a hold of my sleeve.
Well then, you're now caught. Let's go have some tea.
Senpai invites me with a smile. There's no reason to decline their offer, and besides, it would be fun talking with Senpai. Sure, I'll come along, if it's okay with you.
Then it's decided. Alright, let's go.
Still holding my sleeve, she begins to walk down the hall with a light gait. Wow, our school has a room like this? Could it be for the tea ceremony club?
Yes, it's the tea ceremony Yes, it is the tea ceremony's club room for now. And it seemed like it has been used up until I came though.
Senpai steps into the bike. I'm sorry, I have to deal with my nonchalant reading. Senpai steps into the tatami mat and starts preparations with rattling noises. A club room, huh? If that was the case, wouldn't other club members be coming? It's bad for an outsider like me to be here, right? Senpai?
It's okay. Maybe the tea ceremony club, but there aren't any other members except for me. Thanks to that, I can use it freely during break time, and then after school, here we go.
Smiling, Senpai begins spraying the cushions. Tea is tea, but it looks like this is really going to be a serious tea ceremony. To be honest, I'm a bit overwhelmed. Senpai, I don't have the slightest clue what to do.
What are you talking about? I'm the only one who's pouring a bit myself.
With a blunt reply, Senpai put the teapot, some cups, some tea cakes onto a plate.
We're just gonna have a casual conversation, so there's no need to be formal. Isn't it fun that way? It isn't any fun that way, is it?
Smiling softly, Senpai pours tea into her own cup. I just don't get you, Senpai. Mumbling, I pour my own tea. Slurp some, pick up the tea cake and put it in my mouth. I sip some again at the tea. I was never involved with it, but the Armiya family is prominent at tea ceremony family. Being raised in a household like that, I'm used to drinking tea and doing nothing. Senpai looks at me with somewhat troubled expression. What's wrong, Senpai? You look a bit unhappy.
Uh-huh. Well, I was just a little surprised how calm you were about all of this, Tohno-kun.
Really? Well, my family is a strict one, so I'm used to these kind of things. More importantly, Senpai, didn't you have something you want to talk to me about?
Yes. I haven't thanked you for this morning yet, so I think I'll take care of you for a bit like this.
Senpai makes her incredulous statement with a soft smile. Take care of me? That's not how you use the phrase to take care in Japanese, Senpai.
Oh, really? You mean people don't say take care when they're showing someone hospitality in order to thank them?
No, they don't. I don't think it's a mistake exactly, but it's not quite the right either.
These manner-related phrases are sure difficult, aren't they? I suppose I shouldn't try to use them if I'm not familiar with them.
Senpai laughs embarrassingly. No, not at all. They say manners come from the heart, after all. As long as you have the right feelings, it's just trivial error. Senpai's eyes snap in my direction as she stares at me. Her gaze is so serious, it felt like I just said some kind of rare animal in the zoo. Senpai? Did I just say something rude? Senpai continues to stare at me. Senpai? For some reason, I feel incredibly embarrassed.
It really doesn't suit you well, Tohno-kun. Being younger and yet calmer than me. You're impertinent.
Senpai glares at me. I don't understand how her mind works at all. I'm sorry? It was kind of arrogant for me to speak like that.
Yes, it was impairment, so yes, it was so impertinent, I was moved.
I'm sorry, I can't read. She lowers her shoulders with a sigh and sips her tea.
I've become curious about you, Tohno-kun. Please, talk to me. It can be about anything.
Senpai straightens her posture with an attitude like a teacher looking at her student. It doesn't seem like I can refuse. Well, okay, but I'm not going to be very interesting if you're just going to talk to me or talk about me, Senpai. Senpai responds with a smile. I've got no choice. It's not like me, but I suppose I'll talk about her after school. Oh, sorry. It's not like me, but I suppose I'll talk to her about school. At the end, Senpai was very happy to listen no matter what I talked to her about. It was surprising to see her get so worked up when we're talking about middle school. Apparently, Senpai has never been on a school trip.
That sounds nice. Everyone going on a trip together, she said, her eyes twinkling.
It was quite impressive sight. At any rate, I held a one-sided conversation for an hour, but it made me rather tired. With Senpai's permission, I decided to head home. I walked along a different path from the one I usually take. Passing through unfamiliar streets, I slowly approached the Tohno mansion. The surroundings are not completely unfamiliar. After all, I had lived here until I was 9 years old, 8 years ago. This is not the first time I've taken this path back to the mansion. My feelings are a little complex. The path home is nostalgic, yet fresh. Up until just now, I have not looked forward to returning to the Tohno household. Now, it doesn't seem so bad. The house I lived until I was 9 years old. Right now, my sister Akiha is in the utterly un-Japanese Western-style mansion. Tohno Miki Hakasa, my old man who hated me, and the master of the Tohno household, died a few days ago. My mother died from an illness after Akiha was born, so the Tohnos had dwindling down to me and my sister. Being the eldest son, you would think I would stand to become the Tohno heir, but I have no such privilege. To become the Tohno heir means bound by strict upbringing. I have lost count a number of times my father scolded me over my dislike of not being able to live freely. That was when I got involved in that accident. My body became weakened. My father saw it as a good opportunity to get rid of me. His reasoning was someone who, along the lines of someone who could die at any moment, cannot become the heir, even if he's the eldest son. Sadly for my father, I betrayed his expectations by making a recovery, but my sister Akiha was already deemed to be the heir of the Tohno household. So I've heard that from Akiha, the heir already raised harshly in order to become the proper daughter of the Tohno household received an even harsher upbringing since then. That was a long time ago, so I played together with Akiha in the mansion back before the accident. After that, I never saw her again. Apparently, Akiha tried to visit me a few times when I was first entrusted into the army as. Unfortunately, they were never able to meet because I had to go to the hospital every day. We completely lost contact after Akiha went to a boarding school. Unlike Akiha, I'm isolated from the main family. That's why I can live freely like this. With my high school as just average high school, and our chance to contact was pretty much zero. My old man died, and I received word telling me to come back. To be blunt, I have no intentions whatsoever of returning to the Tohno house. But Akiha is at that house. When we were children, Akiha was an obedient child, always looking frightened, as if she were constantly enduring something. She would always follow close behind, her footsteps pattering behind me. She was frail. Her long black hair and fancy Western clothing had resembled of a French doll. I'm worried about her living all alone in this big mansion with her old man gone. But more than anything, I feel guilty after pushing all the Tohno family's responsibilities on her and selfishly living a free life by myself. Perhaps my acceptance to return to the mansion is like my apology to Akiha. The Tohno mansion is unnecessary big. Surrounded by iron railings, you can only say the entrance is a lot abnormally expansive, being so large that the whole elementary school could fit inside. The garden, surrounded by trees, is more like a forest. The mansion is at the heart of that forest, and the few other buildings separate from them. Sorry. I didn't think anything of it when I was a child, but now that I have lived in an ordinary household for 8 years, the excessive size feels almost criminal. The gates are unlocked. I push them open and head towards the mansion doors. The tower oppressively bearing down on any visitors. Besides the iron double doors and an unmatched doorbell. All right. Shaking off my nervousness, I pressed it. There isn't any effective ding-dong chime from the doorbell. The oppressive silence continues for a few seconds. Then the sound of pattering footsteps behind the door indicates someone's presence. We have been waiting for you. The door opens with a creak. Lay inside the lobby, I remember a young girl in an apron.
Oh, she's so cute! Thank goodness. You're so late, I was beginning to worry that you have gotten lost. I was thinking about how to meet you if I haven't arrived by sunset.
The girl the girl in the anarchist apron smiles warmly. No, that's, I'm almost taken back by her outdated mode of dress that isn't even from a proper sentence. Perhaps an attribution of my hesitance to distrust, the girl tilts her head in a little.
You're Shiki-sama, aren't you?
Hold on a sec, guys. Maybe the reason why I'm, stuttering on my speech is because I'm not having a drink of water.
Maybe that's why.
There we go. Maybe that's a lot better now.
You're Shiki-sama, aren't you?
Yeah, but you don't have to call me Sama.
You're right. Oh, please don't scare me like that. I was beginning to think I had made another mistake back there.
The girl's mannerism is almost like a mother scolding her child. But in spite of that, there was a smile on her face, and it doesn't break the warm feeling about her. She wears an apron over the kimono. She comes out to greet guests and addresses someone like me with Sama. This must be she's. Are you one of the maids here by any chance? The girl answers my question with nothing but a smile.
Come, you must be tired. Please do come in. Akiha-sama is waiting for you in the sitting room.
The girl quickly crosses the lobby and heads towards the sitting room. Turning back as she has remembered something, she makes a bow, a full smile on her face.
Welcome home, Shiki-sama.
Her greeting is accompanied with her flower-like smile. I can't think of any reply, so I just followed her hesitantly. Guided by the girl, I head to the sitting room. It is as if I'm seeing someone for the first time. I don't know if I've forgotten about it in the last 8 years. They had refurbished since then. Either way, it feels like someone else's house now, and it's unsettling. I'm looking around the sitting room. The maid in the apron lowers her head with a quick bow.
I brought Shiki-sama with me.
Well done. You must return to the kitchen, Kohaku.
Thank you.
It seems that the maid's name is Kohaku. Kohaku-san gives a small bow as to say farewell and leaves the sitting room. This leaves me and 2 girls I don't recognize. It has been a long time, Nissan, the girl says with long black hair and sharp eyes. All my thoughts process stop at once. My mind goes blank and I can't think any words of greeting. All I can do is nod with a, yeah. I don't think it can be helped. This Akiha had not seen in 8 years is not the Akiha I remember. She's completely transformed into a proper young lady of a noble family. Nissan? The black-haired tilts her head slightly. Pathetically, all I can say are dumb-sounding things. My mind is turning on somersaults as if I'm trying to recognize the girl from before me as Akiha, but it seems that Akiha already recognizes me as her brother. You do not look well. Would you like to rest before we talk? Akiha throws a sharp glance in my direction. Is it just my imagination that she looks like she's in a bad mood? No, I'm alright. I was just surprised how much you've changed, Akiha. People do change over the course of 8 years, Nissan.
we are at the age of change, or do you think we could remain as we were forever?
What is this? I can feel the thorns of Akiha's words. No, you've definitely changed, Akiha. You've become more beautiful than before. That isn't flattery. It's how I really feel. And
indeed. But you, on the other hand, have not changed much at all.
Akiha answers coldly, her eyes closed.
Well, I came prepared for something like this.
It is as I thought. It is as I thought. Oh, sorry. It is as I thought. It seems Akiha does not think well of me.
If you're feeling well, let us finish our conversation. You have yet to hear the details about why you're called back here, Nissan.
I've heard nothing more than the son had come back to the mansion, though I thought the old man had passed away on the papers. If the head of the major company dies, it definitely makes it on the financial papers. Words of the Tohno Makahikasa's death reached his son Shiki via the newspaper after the funeral. Even though his relatives haven't told him, this disinherited son could only pick up the news of his father's death merely by buying a 100 yen paid newspaper. It might have been cynical for me to say so, but the words have clearly become convenient placed.
I'm sorry. It was my fault you did not get the news about father.
Akiha quietly lowers her head. It's alright. Either way, it's not like he would come back for me come back from the dead if I went. It's not something you should be worried about.
I am sorry. It's somewhat comforting to hear you say that.
Akiha's face is serious, but this is not the topic I care much about. A funeral is a ceremony for those who cannot let out their feelings for the deceased to achieve such detachment. For someone like me, who cut off such feelings a long time ago, there is no need.
Calling you back here was my idea. It would be odd for the eldest son of the Tohnos to be entrusted to the army as forever. Now that father has passed away, the only Tohnos by blood are you and I, Nissan. I don't know what father was thinking when he entrusted you to the army as, but he's no longer with us, so there's no longer any need for you to live with them. That is why I'd called you back here.
That's all well and good, but I'm quite surprised you were able to get our relatives to agree to this. Wasn't it who had the idea of leaving me with the armies in the first place?
That may be so, but I'm the head of the Tohno family. I decide everything for now. I decide everyone from the proposals of our relatives. I would like you to continue living here, Nissan, but this is a place with rules. You will avoid living in the overly casual freestyle you've been leading up till now.
I'm afraid that isn't going to happen, Akiha. There's no way I can go back to being someone, man or gentleman now. It's not that I want to.
I will not ask you more of you, but to try to, or what you're trying to say you're unable to do what I already have?
Akiha shoots me with a cold look. It feels like she's hitting me with her grudge against me for leaving her here for the last 8 years. Alright, I get it. I'll try my best. Akiha just stares at me as she doesn't quite believe me.
You do not need to try as long as you get the results.
Her pose is dignified, her words are merciless.
Let's get back to the topic. Right now, you and I are the only ones living here. I do not care for having too many people around, so I cleared everyone out.
Huh? Wait, hold on, Akiha. You cleared everyone out?
You wouldn't want to run into one of our relatives in the mansion, would you, Nissan? I have put off most of the servants, but are there enough for you and I, so there's no problem.
Wait, no problems? You're going to get attacked at our family meeting if you do something like that.
Oh, please be quiet. Rather than have a mansion overfilling with people, wouldn't you feel more relaxed if it was just 2 of us here?
Ugh. Well, if that's true, it would feel relaxed, but you've only just become the head of the family, Akiha. If you go around abusing your power like that, like some kind of dictator, our relatives are not going to keep quiet. Even the old man didn't go against their opinions.
Indeed. That's why father entrusted you to the army as. I, on the other hand, have despised them ever since I was a child. I am not going to put up with their whining any longer.
Not going to put up with I look, Akiha?
Enough! Just listen! You don't have anything to worry about me. Just please, just worry about your own life from now on, Nissan. I can't see it's going to be difficult for you in many ways. Aki is still only looking away a little. Now then, if there's anything you don't understand, ask her, Hisui. She looks at the girl standing next by her side. The girl called Hisui bows expressionlessly. This is Hisui. She'll be your personal maid from now on. Is that acceptable with you?
Huh? Hold on, personal maid? You mean...
In other words, she is your servant.
Akia declares as if it were obvious. I can't believe it. Fitting with the western style of the house, the girl in the maid outfit stands there as it is natural to do so. Hold on. I'm not a kid, you know. I don't need a servant. I can take care of myself.
Would that include the cooking and the laundry?
Aki has pretty sharp pointing these things out.
Anyway, now that you've returned to the house, you will obey my directions. I don't know how you lived in the army house, but you're living in the Tohno house now. Please accept everything that's given to you.
Ugh. I can't say anything as I drift my eyes towards Hisui. As expected, she seemingly looks back at me, expressionless like a doll.
Well then, Hisui, please show Nissan to his room.
Yes, my lady. Hisui approaches me with a shadow I can't read, I swear. Hisui approaches me with a shadow-like lack of presence. I will guide you to your room, Shiki-sama. Hisui heads towards the lobby. Sighing, I head off towards the lobby as well. We enter the lobby. The mansion is split into east and west wings, and with the lobby in the middle. The lobby is like a body of a bird whose wings over the hall is extending diagonally from the east to the west. Each wing is about the size of a small hospital. Well, holy crap. I remember the house is constructed symmetrically, so both east and west wings have the same floor plan.
Your room is this way, Shiki-sama.
Hisui climbs the flight of stairs. It seems like my room's on the second floor. Come to think of it, the servant's room should be on the first floor with the west wing, so it's probably where Hisui and Kohaku-san's rooms are. Outside, the sun has already set. The girl in the maid uniform walks in the long, dimly lit hallway without a word. It kind of feels like Wonderland. Without thinking, I let my thoughts slip out.
Did you say something, Shiki-sama?
Hisui stops and looks back at me. No, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about it.
After staring at me, Hisui bows and starts walking again.
Huh? I guess this is what they call being at a loss for words. The room Hisui leads me is not the one made for a mere high school student to live in. Is this my room?
Yes. If you're displeased with it, I can arrange you with a different one for you.
No, there's nothing could be displeased with it. It's just a little, no, really too fancy for me.
Shiki-sama?
It's fine. I'll gladly use this room.
Yes. This room has not been touched since 8 years ago, so I do not believe you'll find anything unsatisfactory with it.
Huh? There's something a little odd about the way Hisui said that. As if she's implying this was once my room. Hey, is this by any chance my old room?
That is what I've been told. Am I mistaken?
Hisui inclines her head to the side slightly. I feel relieved. It seems this girl can express emotions after all. Well, it might be, now that you mention it. I do remember it being faintly, so it must be so. I can't feel any sense of familiarity about this place at all, but I guess that's what it's like after you leave a place for 8 years. I can't get settled here, though. I was living in the 6.5 mat-sized room until this morning. It's like I'm staying in some high-class hotel.
I understand how you feel, but please try to get used to it. From today onwards, you're the eldest son of the Tohno household, Shiki-sama.
You're right. I've got to do my best and look like on the outside. With a thump, I drop my bags on the table and stretch my back. I've been feeling a little stressed out with everything that's happened so far. So I guess I've got no choice but adjust from today onwards.
Shiki-sama, all your luggage has been brought here. Is there anything more you require?
No, not really. Why do you ask?
there was very little delivered. As if anything you need, I can be prepared, so please do not hesitate to ask.
I see. No, I don't need anything more for now. Oh, this reading has made my throat dry. I didn't have much luggage to begin with. My luggage is just like this bag, these glasses, and the textbooks in my bag, and the white ribbon and the undefined owner. That's all. Wait, where did the ribbon come from? Anyways, you don't have to worry about the luggage. This fancy room is more than enough for me.
I understand. But then I shall come and call you in an hour's time.
An hour? For dinner, you mean?
Yes. Please relax until then.
As expected, Yusei says everything with an expressionless face. But even if she tells me to relax, just how am I supposed to do that here? The clock says it's 6 o'clock. Usually I'd be watching TV in the sitting room around this time, but I'm having serious doubts to whatever there's any such thing in this mansion. Yusei? I know it's kind of a trivial thing to ask about, but is there a television in this mansion?
A television?
Yusui's eyes narrow slightly. I know I'm the only one who asked, but is it a really stupid question? I feel like there's something wrong with asking about the presence of a TV in a luxurious mansion like this. Yusei makes a troubled face and stares off into space.
There is no television in the sitting room. Some of the visitors did make use of one, but they are departed. They packed it up with their luggage and took it back with them. So I do not believe there are any remaining.
Hold on. Visitors? Like, who? For how long?
Relatives. Look, the eldest son of the Kurogami-sama from the branch of the family, Tozaka-sama, the third daughter and her fiancé, and Kishima-sama, the eldest son who came to stay for close to 3 years.
3 years, huh? Yusei, that's what you call freeloaders, not visitors. Yusei does not reply. No matter what kind of people who these freeloaders were, it seemed like servants can't say anything bad about them. Well, at any rate, it seems like those relatives had brought and taken back their own luggage with them. My old man hated the products of modern culture, thinking them all vulgar. There was no way he would ever watch a TV. Akiha, who had been educated by him for the last 8 years, would probably be the same. Well, it's not like I'll die without one. Yusei is silent. Like a perfect example of servants, Yusei says nothing unless she's being asked a direct question. This, of course, is kind of depressing for me. I want to make the expressionless face break with some smile somehow, but it seems impossible with just like an old half-hearted effort.
Oh, there's a library on the first floor, West Wing.
There was a library on the first floor in the West Wing, wasn't there? Maybe I'll go find something to read and have some free time. Yusei does not reply. She just stands there at in the doorway. I can't even tell where she's looking. Yusei? Yusei doesn't say a word. Suddenly, she looks straight at me.
I believe there's one in Nissan's room.
Huh? I have no idea what she's talking about. There's one of what?
A television. I remember seeing one in Nissan's room.
Yusei says as if he remembers something from many years ago. Hold on. Nissan? Don't tell me you were talking about Kohaku-san.
Yes. Right now, the only people working at this mansion are Nissan and I.
Now that she mentions it, they do look alike. I just couldn't connect them as sisters because Kohaku-san was always smiling so warmly, and Yusei is always expressionless. I see. Kohaku-san does look like the type of person who would watch those variety shows. But I balk at going to Kohaku's room and tell her, let me watch your TV. Sorry, just forget I ever asked. Ooh, this does make the throat...
Oh, no, go back.
This does make the throat parched. So sorry, go through and like that and like that. After all, I'll be living from here from now on, so I got to follow the rules of the mansion. God knows what kind of cynical comment I'd be in here for Akiha if I just started watching television. It seems I'll be leading a scholar student life for the fit member of the Tohno family from now on.
Alright,
I'll be in my room until dinner, so just call me when it's time. You've got other things to do, don't you, Yusei? Yusei nods an assent and turns around. Silently open a door, she leaves the room. Dinner takes place with Akiha and I being face to face. I guess this is natural here. Hisui and Kohaku-san did not eat with us, standing behind us as they tend to our needs. I thought it would be natural if all four of us ate together, so I could say I am caught off by this unexpectedly tense dinner. I should mention at this point I've totally forgotten anything related to the table manners by now. Well, I do remember little pieces, but it's not like I'm a complete amateur. But a human tends to pack away unused memories into the corners of their minds. The tension was actually quite thrilling, with every one of my movements causing Akiha to raise an eyebrow. When I think about it, all I have to go through with this every day, though. It's really depressing. Finishing dinner, I return to my room. It's still only just past 8 at night. It's too early to sleep, so what should I do? I'll go talk with Akiha. When I get to the sitting room, Akiha is relaxing there alone. There's no sign of Kohaku-san or Hisui. There are 2 teacups on the table, and Akiha is using one of them. Oh? Do you drink meals
Oh, do you drink tea after meals too, Nissan?
No, nothing like that. I just thought I'll come here to talk to you. My expression tells you I'll go away if I'm bothering you.
Then please, sit down. The tea is tea alright for you?
Sure, I'll have anything that's nice. I actually prefer Japanese tea, but I'll keep a bit of selfishness to myself. Akiha takes a teapot and pours transparent red tea into another teacup. Thank you. I sit on the sofa and raise the teacup to my mouth. Before my eyes is the cool and collect Akiha, and it makes me a bit uneasy. I came to talk to her, but to be honest, I really don't know what about to say now that she's in front of me.
Nissan, you are very quiet. Didn't you come here to talk to me?
Akiha stares. The atmosphere is not much of a younger sister, but more like of an unfamiliar young lady. It's not one in which I can speak freely. Well, I was just wondering, how have you been these past 8 years?
So, it goes without saying. With Nissan around, Father's attention turned solely to me.
Akiha glares in complaint. It seems the last 8 years are a taboo subject.
And what about you? What have you been doing for 8 years? I sent you many letters and I didn't receive a single reply.
I choke involuntarily. Certainly, Akiha did send me many letters, but I never replied. I was a poor correspondent, but at the bottom of my heart, I wanted to sever all links to the Tohno mansion, and made me reluctant to write to Akiha. You could have sort of wrote to your sister, jerkwad.
Well, don't worry about the letters. Even if you had answered, I'm sure Father would never have allowed the replies into the house. More importantly, how do you feel returning to the mansion for the first time in 8 years? It has changed very little, though there was some restoration work done.
In spite of Akiha's words, the mansion still feels completely unknown to me. 8 years ago, I was just a child. Even if I remember the mansion a little, it feels like I'm in someone else's house, and it's very unsettling.
Nissan?
No, I was just lost in thought for a moment. You say this mansion's changed very little, but it's pretty unsettling for me. Though the sitting room and the lobby are kind of familiar, I can't really remember the corridor, nor my room.
Really? I guess 8 years is a long time.
I guess that's it. Just like the half of my life so far, I can't really expect to have clear memories. Well, it has been 8 years, so it doesn't feel right, but I think I'll get used to it. I'll be thankful if you overlook my poor manners for a while.
Please, don't be ridiculous. I can hardly look at any more lenient upon Nissan's manners than I do already.
Ugh! That was close. I almost sprayed my tea when I was drinking. At supper, Akiha looked at me with a cold sweat after all I did was using the wrong knife. I see. You were being lenient back then.
Yes, I am making concessions appropriate for you to your abilities. Nissan has been brought back up to the army as after all. As Keiko comes from a branch family, a certain amount of lazy affair is permitted, and you were spoiled, Nissan. The result is the supper we had a little while ago.
Well, it can't be helped, can it? I never really thought I would be returning here.
Is that so? You almost sound like you didn't want to return, Nissan.
Don't be stupid. It's not like that. I have many of my doubts, but I couldn't just leave you alone here, could I? What kind of brother would I be then? Yes, that's the reason I'd return. If it weren't for Akiha, I would never have returned. Since I've heard nothing for almost 8 years, I've always wondered were you all right on your own. I came back to this mansion because I was worried about you. Looking a little off to the side, I put my honest feelings into words.
Oh, well, then,
But I guess I was just worrying over nothing. In the past 8 years, you seem to have grown strong. I'm relieved, but a little disappointed. No, a bit is saying too little. Since I only had the image of a calm Akiha back when she was small, the sharp Akiha now seems like a different person.
Really? I'm sorry I didn't meet Nissan's expectations.
Akiha's eyes were scary. Crap, I think I may have said something too much again.
Well then, Nissan, how was life at the Armia's residence?
Akiha asked, still with a frightening expression. I feel like I'm under a terrible pressure, even though I'm only talking to my younger sister.
Nissan, did you hear what I said?
I heard. Life at the Armias, right? It was normal. There was no real problems. It seemed there was more suited for me living there, too.
That's not what I meant. How was your health? I've heard you've collapsed from a lot of your chronic amnesia.
Yeah, well, fuck it. You already know what I mean. Yeah, I did for about a year after I left the hospital, but I'm okay now. I only have problems occasionally for about once a month, but I'm certainly not frail enough to be worried about. Bluffing, I strike my chest with its scar. Akiha nods in a serious assent.
But Nissan, you also started wearing glasses. After going to the hospital, did your eyesight fail also?
I see. Akiha does not know I wear glasses or why I wear them. I can't just explain the lines along with things break or they would not appear when I wear the glasses. Well, it's nothing. My eyes became a little strange after the accident, but it's not like my eyesight has gone bad. It's just not really a serious problem.
Really? I was surprised when I saw you a little while ago. I didn't know how you started wearing glasses, Nissan.
Really? You seemed pretty calm back then.
Of course! I was meeting you for the first time in 8 years. I couldn't let you see me acting strange.
Akiha's brow creased sullenly.
Akiha-sama! The bath is ready! What should I do?
Really? Thank you, Kohaku. I'll go soon. So go ahead. Is this alright? After all, you're
Is this alright? After all, you're relaxing with Shiki-sama. Shiki-sama might run away, but the bath won't. Please relax a little longer.
It's fine. We weren't talking about anything important anyways. Akiha stands and walks past Kohaku-san into the lobby. Kohaku-san follows Akiha. After the sitting room, I finished the tea. Akiha and Kohaku-san seem to be heading to the bath, so I guess I'll go back to my room. Hang on. Akiha and Kohaku-san are going to the bath together, are they? No, I bet they are. Then maybe Kohaku-san would be washing her back? Of course, with another girl, that's no problem, but...
Well, you are free to imagine whatever you wish, Nissan, but...
Akiha turns with an amazing timing.
Don't force Hisui to do stupid things. Unlike Kohaku, she doesn't really get jokes.
Akiha looks accusingly as if she's seen my thoughts. I'm surprised. Maybe this mansion has some listening devices. Wait, what are you doing back here? Weren't you going to take a bath with Kohaku-san?
I forgot to tell you something about the bath. Nissan, the large bathroom is used a long time ago, so it isn't used anymore. It'll be too much for Hisui and Kohaku to take care of, so it's been closed up.
large bathroom? Was there such a place? I spluttered a bit, unable to remember, but I made a doubtful face. Akia's brows brows knit terribly. I'm sorry, folks. I'm a shitty reader.
The bath is in the courtyard. You don't remember that?
Well, now that she mentioned it, I guess there was such a thing. But this is a European-style mansion. Isn't such a little thing out of place?
Father half liked the Japanese style of architecture. That's why he detached the building as a Japanese style as well. Anyway, if you have a bath, please your own. The second room bathroom behind the lobby is yours, Nissan.
With that, Akia leaves. Alright. With Akia gone, there's no point in staying in the sitting room. I'll have a bath too and return to my room. With that return to my room, my bed has been made. I guess Hisui did it when I was gone. I'm glad she did, but it's really more than I deserve. I scratched my cheek. Then...
Are you there, Shiki-sama?
I can hear Hisui's voice along with the knock on the door. Yeah, I'm here. Come in.
Excuse me.
Good evening. Thank you for making my bed, Hisui. Hisui kindly nods in acceptance. Just as I thought, I'm not used to this. Is there anything you want to tell me?
No, nothing from me, but Akiha-sama has instructed me to answer any questions you may have.
I see. Is there many things I want to ask, but I'll probably get to know them as I continue to live here. Yeah, that's what I want to know right now before I sleep is it true is that the curfew here is 7?
Yes. The main gate is locked at 7, and all the entrances to the mansion have been locked at 8. It is also a rule that one must not try to go walking around the mansion after 10.
Not even walking around the mansion? Well, I've got no complaint with that, but isn't that kind of a harsh? Aki and I aren't children, so I don't think we have to go that far.
Indeed. It is a rule, however, please abide by it. You are aware of the recent disturbances at night, are you not, Shiki-sama?
Yeah, the vampire thing Akuhiko was talking about. Well, as long as something like that is happening, I guess it's better safe than sorry. Oh, what else? Oh, do you mind if I ask an off-topic question?
Yes, what is it?
I'd like to know what kind of work you and Kohaku do around here.
I'm here to serve your needs, and my sister Kohaku is here to serve Lady Akiha-sama. In our spare time, we do maintenance chores around the mansion. Is there anything you would like to know?
To serve, so is that what you do? So what's it after all? My shoulders I feel heavier. It seems completely natural to Akiha when she said it, but I'm nothing more than a normal high school student. I have no interest in having a girl close to my age serving me, at least for now. By serving me, do you mean you're my personal servant?
Yes. Please do not hesitate to give me any instructions.
Well, I get it. Going by how Akiha was talking about you, it doesn't seem like I can dismiss you, so I'll just obediently let you serve me.
Is there anything in particular you would like?
Nothing in particular, but could you stop calling me Shiki-sama? Be honest, I get chills down my back when I hear it.
But Shiki-sama, you are my master.
That's what I'm saying I hate. I've been living a normal life up until yesterday. I have no desire to start living a life where my girl my age addresses me with Sama.
I see.
Hisui responds with less enthusiastic. Just call me Shiki. In exchange, I'll call you Hisui. Let's do away with the formalities and just be more casual with each other. Still expressionless, Hisui lowers her eyebrows as if she's being troubled.
But you are my employer.
It's not like I'm hiring you. You're the one doing things I can't, so you're the great one.
I see.
Hisui gives another enthusiastic reply. It looks like I won't be able to talk to her into just one day. Anyhow, how was it? Don't be so formal towards me. I'll be grateful if you tell me that to your sister Kohaku too.
Very well, as you say, Shiki-sama.
Expressionless, Hisui lowers her head. She's completely failed to understand.
I will be leaving now. Please rest for tonight.
Bowing, Hisui puts her hand on the doorknob. Oh, I forgot to ask something. Hold on for a sec. Running towards the door, I put my hand on Hisui's shoulder before she leaves. In an instant, Hyusui's arm pushes my arm away with an incredible momentum. With a whack, she slaps my hand away and leaps back. Eh! It's so sudden, but it's the only thing I could say. Hyusui is expressionless, but she glares at me fiercely. Did I just do something wrong?
I am very sorry.
Hyusui's voice sounds very nervous.
I am not used to being touched. Please forgive me.
Hyusui's shoulders are faintly trembling. I feel like I just did something really terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize without thinking. I don't understand why myself. I just feel sorry for Hisui and I lower my head. Hisui says nothing. I do get the feeling her stare is calm again.
You have nothing to apologize for, Shiki-sama. I am the one to blame.
No, well, maybe, but I scratch my head. Hisui stares at me, pausing only to blink for a second. What was it?
What was it you wanted to ask me, Shiki-sama?
That's right. I stopped Hisui because I wanted to ask her something. Oh, I wanted to ask you about Akiha. Doesn't she go to a boarding school?
That was only during the middle school, Shiki-sama. From this year onwards, Akiha-sama has special permission to attend the school I am from. Attend school from home. Sorry.
You mean she goes to school from here?
Yes, but it's uncommon for her to come home before dusk, like today. Akiha-sama has practice up until dinner, so she always comes home. She was always home before 7.
Practice? Practice what?
Today is Thursday. She would have violin practice. Usually she's able to return home before dinner on the weekdays. So if you have anything to say to Akiha-sama, please let Nissan know after dinner.
Hisui bows to say goodbye and leaves the room. Violin practice? What on earth is that? She's not some upper-class lady or anything, so why she would have to do something bothersome as... Oh, wait, she's an upper-class lady. Yes, come to think of it, my sister Tohno Akiha is a natural-born upper-class lady. In my memories, she was always obedient, ever uneasy sister and constantly following me around. As a child, she was always quiet, never having even the courage to express her own desires. She was a frail girl who would always live in fear of scolding from her own father. Yeah, people really do change after 8 years. After 8 years, I became the me I am now. Aki has become the person she is right now, too. 8 years is a long time. It's the half of our lives up until now. I was absent from this mansion during the vital period where a child becomes an adult. I'm sorry, Akiha. I think things would have been better if I had been with her during those 8 years. I unknowingly mumbled an apology. I left by myself while lying on my bed. This house is from 8 years ago. My blood relative from 8 years ago? It feels like they belong to someone else. I wonder what's going to happen to me now. Grumbling, I have no one in particular. I fell asleep.
Ow!
I hear the wave-like sound of someone's voice.
Ow! Werewolves in London.
Something is howling. It's too sharp of a high pitch to be a stray dog. Sorry, I take water.
Ow!
It echoes in my eardrums. Is it howling at the moon?
Ow!
It doesn't feel right. This beastly howling is the beginning to give me a headache.
Ow!
It doesn't stop.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Just shut up already! I wake up. I can hear the sound of a dog barking outside the window. The clock indicates it's just past 11. The more than just a neighbor nuisance. Damn, I can't sleep like this. The dog's howling comes from somewhere near the mansion's fence. It doesn't seem like I can go back to sleep at this rate. Even Aki and the others won't be able to go sleep with this racket like this. Since the only man in the house, I guess I got no choice but to go investigate. I think it's coming from the right side of the mansion. I opened the curtains to check out what's happening outside. And outside my room, there's a large tree. On one of the branches is perched a blue crow. In the dark of the night, I can see nothing but black. And it's quite clear to me that this crow is blue. Huh? I never seen or even heard of a blue crow before. It glares at me. Feels like the eyes of the crow are staring at me like soulless mechanical lenses. Caw! After a yawn-like cry, and noiselessly flies off. What was that? I feel a faint chill in my back. The howling of the dog grows louder.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Huh? It's really starting to get on my nerves. Not only this it's noisy, but hearing it causes my heart to start pounding. I have almost instinctual distaste for it. Shut up! I change out of my pajamas into my uniform and leave the room. I just go into PJs.
Ow!
The howling echoes through the night, and sounds definitely coming from the right-hand side of the mansion. For some reason, my throat feels dry. So does mine. And the high walls stretch their way around the mansion. Clearing my throat, I head towards the dogs that must have been gathered. I arrive where the howling originates. Huh?
Ooh woo!
The howling doesn't stop, but there's no sign of any dogs. All there is a person. Under the light from the streetlight that carves apart the darkness stands a man in a dark coat. The howlings come from right beside him, but there's no dog to be seen anywhere. The man in the coat is pretty tall. He has a strong-built body and his back is facing me. My throat is so dry.
Ooh woo.
The voice of the dog resounds in my ears. My night ear closes itself around my skin. For no apparent reason, I have a difficult breathing and moving, as if I'm at the bottom of the sea. Gah! A cry overhead. With a loud flapping of its wings, a blue crow lands onto the man's shoulder. Then, suddenly, the crow vanishes. Huh? Can it be an illusion? It looked like the crow disappeared into the back cloak. The man in the black coat turns around. Oh, you're scary. Under the white streetlight, he's just like a shadow. A black lump. In the middle of the lump, the only weapon I see shine out, burning the fiery intelligence. I can't breathe. But fortunately, those eyes seem like they're not even looking at me. Not here after all. The man in the black coat leaves. Then I can no longer see him. I'm finally able to breathe properly. I manage to take a few breaths. Realize the dog's howling has ceased. I return to my room. There's no sign of Akiha and the others being awake. So I guess I'm the only one who couldn't stand the dog's howling. What is happening? My head still hurts. Huh? Why am I trembling? Looking down, my fingers are trembling. My entire body is shaking and my back feels very cold. It almost feels like, yes, like someone ripped out my spine and replaced it with ice. I feel dizzy. Is this just usual anemia? I get the feeling of falling towards the floor. On the way, I see something unpleasant. Even though I'm wearing the glasses, I can still see the lines. I haven't thought of them at all for a long time, so my reaction is magnified. I feel sick. With this dizziness from my amnesia, I feel like I'm about to throw up with the constant contents of my stomach. What's going on? I don't understand. Only as long as my eyes are open, scribbles fly everywhere across my vision. It's a bad dream. Somehow I managed to collapse into bed, yes. I should be asleep. That's the easiest way to deny what I'm seeing. My body doesn't move as I want it to. All I should do is lie here and fall asleep, like a corpse. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry for the sneezing. Like a corpse. And that's done with chapter 1. So I hope y'all liked the chapter 1. I apologize for all the stuttering because apparently I can't read very well. But thank you for coming for this long stream, and I hope you enjoy yourselves. Onward to chapter 2. Until then, this is Hana signing out.